Wood County's prosecuting attorney explained how the extradition process works. Wood County prosecuting attorney Patrick Lefebvre says if someone who is wanted on a Wood County warrant is arrested out of state, getting them back here involves a separate court process called extradition. He says it usually starts after law enforcement gets a warrant issued in Wood County and that warrant is entered into the national NCIC database. Once the person is stopped or arrested in another state, they are held on a fugitive warrant and a judge there sets a hearing. Lefebvre says the key question is whether the person agrees to return or tries to fight extradition.
The typical time frame is once an individual would be arrested, they would have a hearing before a judge, usually certainly within 5 days, to determine whether they wish to contest extradition or if they're going to waive extradition. If they waive extradition, usually the court there will place a timeline on our authorities to go pick up that individual. If it's a surrounding state, usually that's certainly within a week or so that we need to go pick up that individual and return them to West Virginia. If it's a state out west, we can have up to about 30 days to go get that individual to return them to our custody.
Lefebvre says if even someone contests extradition, they still can't argue the details of the case in that other state that happens once they're back in West Virginia. Lefebvre says distance and manpower can affect how quickly someone is transported and in some lower level cases, whether extradition is pursued at all.